Hello, this video is for my advanced math students, lesson 86. I'm on page 420 and 421 of your book. We're just going to be doing part A, which is binomial expansion. We're not going to be fooling with part B, the overlapping triangles. We cover that in other lessons. By way of review, let's go over what binomial expansion is and what it means, how we do it. This is not in your book, but let's consider that we have a plus b to the fourth power, and they say to expand this. Multiply this out, a plus b times a plus b times a plus b times a plus b. We know to set up this little grid, and when we multiply a plus b to the fourth power out, we know that we will get 5 terms. 5 plus or minus things out here. So we're going to set up our grid, and we're going to make 5 slots. We need to know the coefficient of each term, and from Pascal's triangle, we get that it's 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. If you don't remember Pascal's triangle, I have a small picture of it in the lower left-hand side of lower left-hand corner of the cheat sheet. Okay, and there are the coefficients. And then we need to know the powers, the exponents of the two terms a and b. Well, because this is 4, I know that we will start with 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Or you could have started with the b and know that it goes from 0, 1, 2, 3. Oop, I guess it might help if I could count right. 2, 3, 4. And it just tells me that my first term is 1, a to the 1, b to the 0, or it's just a. My second term is 4, a cubed, b to the 1, 4a cubed b. Third term, 6, a squared, b squared. I'm not going to write all these out. Fourth term, 4a b cubed. And fifth term, 1a to the 0, b to the 4, or just b to the 4 as we would write it. Okay? So that's a little bit of review. But the book gives us some harder problems. They say, they say go find, what is the first one? The fourth term of negative 3x plus 2y squared to the fourth power. When we are given something like this, we're going to set up our grid just like we did for a plus b to the fourth power. We have 5 terms. The coefficients initially are going to be the same, but we're going to put, instead of a, I'm going to put negative 3x here. I'm going to put 2y squared here, positive 2y squared. Now this question only asks for the fourth term. We're going to do that first, but then we're going to talk a little bit about it, the expansion of it. So the fourth term is right here. And my leading coefficient is 4. Now that's not going to be the coefficient of my final answer because of this. The first term, earlier we had a to the first power. Well, it's not going to be a to the first power. It's going to be negative 3x, the whole thing to the first power. In that first example, we had b cubed here. Well, it's not going to be b cubed. It's going to be 2y squared, the whole thing cubed. And then I need to multiply this out. I'm going to go ahead and put these two terms together first. They're not terms, but factors. Negative 12x. But then I'm going to do this one separately. This is 2 cubed. 2 cubed is 8. Y squared quantity cubed is y to the 6. I multiply these out. I get negative 96. Let's change that to 9. Negative 96x y to the 6. We need to make sure that the entire term is to the first power, or the entire term is squared. And like I said, originally you would think your coefficient is 4. It turns out to be negative 96. Slightly different. The second one says expand to a, I'm at the top of page 421, by the way, to a squared minus x cubed. And it's also to the fourth power. Make sure I wrote that right. 2a squared minus x cubed. Still going to use this grid right here. Okay? But instead of having a and b, here I'm going to have 2a squared. And got to be careful. This is negative x cubed right there. Still going to have 5 terms. My first term will be 1 times 2a squared, the whole thing to the fourth power, negative x cubed to the 0 power. I'll go ahead and write it in. Negative x cubed to the 0 power. I'm going to run out of room here in a second. I'll have to do 2 lines. My second term is still, that leading coefficient is 4, but now it's 2a squared quantity cubed. And it's negative x cubed to the first power, plus lead coefficient of 6. I'm going to put it down here, 6, and it's going to be 2a squared squared, quantity squared, I should say, and negative x cubed, quantity squared. My next term, my fourth term, will be 4, 2a squared to the first power, and negative x cubed, quantity cubed. And my last term will be 2a squared to the 0th power, beg your pardon for the mess up here, and negative x cubed to the 4th power. We'll drop down here where we can put them all in a line. Okay? What is 2a squared to the 4th power? What is 2 to the 4th power? That's 2, 4, 8, 16. I have 16. A squared to the 4th power gives me a to the 8. The negative x cubed to the 0 power is 1, so it's gone. Plus 4 times, what is 2 cubed? 2, 4, 8. That's 8. A squared quantity cubed is a to the 6. And it's still multiplied by negative x cubed. We'll pick that up in the next step. Plus 6. 2a squared. What's 2a squared? Quantity squared. 2 squared is 4. A squared squared is a4. And negative x cubed quantity squared gives me positive x to the 6 plus 4 times 2a squared. Negative x cubed quantity cubed is going to give me negative, because it's a negative times a negative times a negative. X cubed, x cubed, x cubed. That is not x to the 27, that is x to the 9. Be careful. Plus 1. 2a squared is 0. Excuse me, 2a squared to the 0 is 1. Negative x cubed to the 4th power. Negative, 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 negative. We have a positive x to the 12th. Now our final step, to multiply these all out again. 4 times 8 is 32, but I've got this negative x cubed out here, so it's minus 32a6x3. 6 times 4 times 1, I have plus 24a4x6. 4 times 2 is positive 8, but times the negative, I have negative 8a squared x9 and plus x to the 12. 5 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you notice they go positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. You kept going. All right? One more. We're at almost 10 minutes, so we'll make this quick. They're only asking for one term here. They want to find the 4th term, I believe it is. Find the 3rd term of negative 3x plus 2y squared, quantity to the 5th power. Because it's to the 5th power, we know we're going to have 6 terms. The coefficients, again, we can get them from Pascal's triangle. It's going to go 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. I don't expect you to have that memorized. And the powers, let's start with the second one first. It goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now it only asks for the third term. The third term will be 10 times the negative 3x to the third power. And the positive 2y squared quantity squared to the second power. All right? So we still have 10. By the way, please do this in several steps. Don't try to do it all in once. You'll mess it up. Negative 3 quantity cubed. A negative, negative, negative. That's going to be a negative. 3 cubed is 27. X1 to the 3 power. We have x cubed. 2y squared quantity squared. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is also 4. All right? So we have, all right, I can see right off the bat my answer is going to be negative. What's 27 times 4? That's 80 and another 28. That's 108. I think it's negative 1080 x cubed y4. I did that out of my head. Let me check the book, make sure we're right. Yes, we are. Good. Okay, so negative 1080 x cubed y to the 4 is your third term. Be happy they didn't ask you to write out the whole thing, because they could have had you do each of these. Negative 3x to the 5th power, negative 3x to the 4th power, the 3rd power, and do that. All right, that's all there is for this lesson. Hope that made sense. Let me know if you have issues. Well, I know you've got issues if you have issues with the lesson.